it doesn't matter what you do, what area of profession you do, what you do for a living. You can be successful no matter what you do. Take things as they come, but still live the way you want to live, so that you can, be the best representative of yourself regardless of outcome. So that's another thing I learned is just because you do things the right way doesn't mean that you're promised the result that you're going to get, right?
You can't just do it right and get a result. It's not enough.
Your health is your shrine, right? That's a reflection on you and your character, your work ethic, your everything. You can't say all these things and your appearance, your mannerisms, your character don't match what you're saying. It has to match, otherwise people won't believe you.
Welcome to the Cold Tub Talks. Today's guest is Jonathan Wong, serial entrepreneur, health club investor, car collector, endodontist. He's a badass and he's here with us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
So I got to kick it off with this, dude. Checking out your social medias and stuff. It's really cool how you've managed to really get involved in everything you love. I feel like a lot of people always have something they desire. They have a passion. So how do you put yourself in a position in life to invest in what you actually love?
Well, I think you have to experience failure before you actually start doing that. It didn't come from me right away. I mean, there's plenty of other people who have seen the vision much earlier in life. I'm not the youngest. I'm 47. I would say I just started doing this in the last 5-ish years, right? I've always grown up conservative Asian family.
Okay.
You just do what you're told. I was good at following the rules and doing good in school, right?
Okay.
But then I learned after not going to medical school that, hey, if you follow the rules and you listen to your parents, you're told you get everything that you want, right? And the reality is that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well
said. Yeah.
Really does not happen, right?
Yeah. So you got to go and get some grain a little bit.
I actually had to flip the switch and I was like, you know what? No one's going to give me anything. No one's going to give anybody anything after observing friends and people, especially those that were older than me.
Yeah.
I was like, these were good kids. They did really good in school, but they're not getting what, everything that they wanted, right? And I was on the medical school track. I got into medical school twice, actually.
Oh, okay.
Once with HPME through Northwestern, but my dad taught Northwestern for a little bit, so I didn't want to go. I went to U of I instead, right?
Huh.
And then second time conventionally. And I was like, I don't want to do this.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But the problem is I was a biology major. That was the problem. I call it a problem because if you're not in healthcare professionals, if you're not planning to be a healthcare professional, if you don't make it as a healthcare professional, then you are basically doing pharmaceutical sales. You're doing sales or lab rat, one of those two things.
Wow.
I didn't want to do either of those things.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I took a around the block way, the scenic route to where I'm at,
Yeah.
essentially.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a backstory.
Yeah. So thinking of that, when you were talking about failures, what were some of the biggest failures you had to overcome to get to where you are?
The biggest failure was first contending with my parents, right? So when I didn't go to medical school, my mom's a yapper, right? She likes to be in my ear. So
Yeah.
I went from potential medical student to working temp jobs and living at home, right? So I moved out and I was couch surfing. And actually, I worked at a nightclub for 7 years.
Wow.
I worked at a nightclub 7 years.
What age was this?
21, right after college, right?
Okay.
So, to a conservative Asian mom, you go from, hey, mom, I don't want to go to medical school, right? That's already bad enough to tell somebody that, right?
Yeah.
Then the second thing is, well, what's your plan B, son? Right?
Wow.
And then you're like, I really didn't know, right? So I ended up working temp jobs. I didn't want to disappoint my parents. I didn't want to hear my mom yapping in my ear all the time. So I moved into the city. And one of the easiest jobs to get was working in a nightclub. I did that and I was working retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've heard plenty of the backstory. What was the tipping point? What flipped the script for you to where you get to where?
Well, when I was working in the nightclub, I remember befriending a lot of people who had some really deep pockets. Right?
Really? At the nightclub?
Yeah. And there's several types of people that we all know. We all know. There's only a few people that go to the nightclubs, right? And some of them either fake like they have money, or there's others that actually do, right? And I would just observe. I'm always been an observer of people. I'm not smart enough to, I'll always say this, I'm not smart enough to, I say this all the time, right?
Okay.
But there's one thing I do know is I'm a hustler, right? So I can observe other people, what works for them, then I'm going to incorporate it into my lifestyle. So I would observe, and what I've noticed was, and the tipping point is, it doesn't matter what you do, what area of profession you do, what you do for a living. You can be successful no matter what you do. But what you need to do, everybody who I've observed, they're all hustlers, right?
Yeah.
You all like, they don't take no for an answer, right? And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm kind of like that too, right?
Yeah.
I just didn't have direction, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when I was doing the retail jobs, funny story, I would only pick retail jobs that were commission based
Okay.
because I always knew that I could be the top seller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every retail job, I was a top seller.
Yeah.
Every retail job.
There's a lot of relatability there, though, because I
Yeah.
feel like everyone's looking for that edge. Like, how can I earn more?
Right.
How can I level up? You know?
Yeah, so I was doing all this, and I still didn't know what I was doing, though, right? You know,
sounds
I
like
was
it.
making, crumpled up cash, putting it in my suit at the nightclub. I was a host, right?
Yeah.
And I would hustle, the people. Like, you stand on one side of the red rope, people will pay you to get on the other side of the red rope.
Yeah.
Even though there's nothing
true.
nothing special on the other side of the red rope. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
I remember week in and week out, I would go to the Citibank on Michigan Avenue, and I would deposit my crumpled bills. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with this money, right? I still didn't know what I want to do as a profession, right? And then I was a chance of meeting one of my temp jobs. I was a lab tech for an orthodontist in Buffalo Grove,
Okay.
and I met one of my friends who is now a dentist, and he's responsible for me being a dentist, actually. He's like, why don't you give dentistry a try? He took the MCAT. The DAT is pretty much the same.
Whoa.
And I was like, no, that's gross.
And so what age was this at this
23,
point?
24.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I've wasted enough time. I might as well do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took the DAT. 6 months later, I was in dental school.
Dang.
I didn't even know how many teeth were in the mouth.
Wow. Holy crap. I
Yeah.
would assume that was like part of your past, like your
Yeah.
upbringing, but
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I think my
badass.
story is not unlike, dissimilar to a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
You have to have hard work, right? But, a lot of people would be lying if they said that there's not some good fortune involved, right? There's got to be. And for me, that's no different. I actually have a lot of good fortune. So,
beautiful. Love
Yeah.
that mind frame. All right, incoming. You ready?
yeah.
Ready for more?
Oh,
I'm already
man.
freaking shivering.
Here we go. A little bit of that ice buzzer going off.
Yeah. He's a beast.
Oh,
they are.
man.
This is his pre-workout.
It's all mindset.
Gosh, don't even.
Oh,
Give me
my
that
God.
big
Right.
iceberg right there. Help me catch it. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Man. All right.
All right. So based off of what you were saying, you have the highest rated endodontic studio in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
Thousands of reviews. Like, how did you accomplish that?
Badass.
It actually started out as before 2010. I graduated dental school in 2008, and I was working for people. I never actually intended to own a business. I just wanted to live because at that time I had already spent a couple years, putzing around doing nothing, and I was already hanging out with friends that had decent jobs. I was like, I want to do that too. So all I want to do is work. When I was working for other people, right? It's not my place to critique other people's business if I'm just an employee or a contractor, right?
Sure.
So what I would do instead is I would follow up because I was already a 1099, right? So I made my own post-treatment email, right? Basically say, hey, this is Dr. Wong. These are the things to expect. It was like a template, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, I would say, hey, if you're so inclined to provide feedback from me and my future patients, you can find me here. And it would be LinkedIn and health grades. Because you can review people, providers on those, right? Because I didn't own a business then.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my way of coping with things I didn't like, right? So instead of complaining, I just solicit my own reviews.
Yeah.
So I've never actually paid for one, right? I've never incentivized anybody. I just let them know that they can find me here. So then when I started doing, when I opened my own business, I did the same thing. So
Badass, man.
I actually solicit my own reviews. So I now I have these QR codes. So everybody uses QR codes, right? So when you check out, you got the post-treatment instructions, you got the QR codes for me and the doctors I work for, right? But I go even one step further. I text them from my phone. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
We've been getting on the QR code game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works well.
Text us
It
for
works
it,
well.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Way
I love
more
the
convenient
hustle.
for people.
Yeah. Yeah, comment down below if you respect the hustle.
He's got it. That's
You
for
know,
sure.
you know the saying,
Yes.
if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself, right?
Yeah.
So
For sure, yeah.
No.
No one's gonna do it for you. Everyone's out there living for themselves, man.
for sure. And as a business owner, especially in the doctor space, right? You've got people who can make lots of money. They know how
Yeah.
to make lots of money. They just don't know how to market themselves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
No,
So
respect. Yeah.
best when you can do both.
Yeah. So you're a father as well. You were sharing with us right before we began the interview. So on your Instagram, I noticed in your bio you have it's something like courage, love, integrity.
Yeah.
And as a father, like how do you challenge the status quo? Like everything you've described, your journey where you're at now.
So full disclosure, I'm divorced. I live minutes from my kids, so that's where those little sayings come from. Because it's another thing people should actually know. If you are going to go balls to the wall, all in on your goals, you have to understand that it's going to affect other parts of your life. I'm no different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you better make sure that you and your spouse, your significant other, are perfectly in line with your goals. Otherwise, things may not work out. And I think for me, I have nothing bad to say. Right? I actually built a house 5 minutes away from the kids. Right? So you have to take things as they come, but still live the way you want to live, so that you can, be the best representative of yourself, regardless of outcome. Right?
Okay.
So that's another thing I learned is just because you do things the right way doesn't mean that you're promised the result that you're going to get.
Ooh. You can't just do it right and get a result.
Right.
Not enough.
I'm sure I've heard other people, even on your podcast, right? It's you learn through failure. You have to have the failure.
Yeah.
You can't have just all successes. You can't have all the
Right.
abuse.
And some
Yeah.
people need to
Right.
hear that time
Yeah.
and time again to actually let it hit them.
So when people come up to me, sometimes they'll say, I want to be like you. I want to be you. I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
I know what you see, and I know why you're saying that. Right. But if you lived what I lived, you could do it easier, better. Right.
Yeah.
So you want to be the best you, you don't want to be me at all. Right.
So true.
I
I think
love
a
that.
lot of people get that misconception just because they see like the money or you have the cool cars or things like that, but they don't know like what hell and back you've been through
Right,
to
of
get to where you are. And a lot of people wouldn't want to live that story if you told them like everything you've been through. They'd be like, yeah, never mind. It's not worth it.
That's another advice for me is everybody has their way of coping with stresses, right? So mine is work, it's the gym, right? Tattoos, obviously they do that for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And cars, right?
Can you tell that one?
Yeah. So yeah.
Love that. That's a humble attitude, though, too. Elderberry buzzer time. Let's go. All right, John. Incoming is an elderberry immunity supplement. As here at Insta Shred. It's sweetened with erythritol, natural elderberry flavor. Let us know what you think.
Tastes good.
Yeah, you like?
I've never actually tasted elderberry before. I'm gonna guess it's all locally sourced ingredients.
No, it's actually out of California.
Is it really? Okay.
California sourced, yes. But it's actually more powerful than vitamin C, if you're familiar. So
Yeah.
then it's got an extra vitamin C addition to it. But
It does taste similar to one of the drinks that I'm familiar with, B-A-I. That drink.
yeah.
There is a flavor that's similar to this.
They're technically a hydration drink, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should have started cold tubbing in this stuff. Yeah,
No, you just put a little straw.
exactly.
That'd be awesome.
Get a mouth straw, you just suck it up while you're bathing.
Yes.
Just make sure you're clean before you get in.
We're going to try that.
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to the Pod Company, our sponsor for the Cold Tub Talks podcast. I'm sitting in their Ice Pod Pro. These are the best in-class pods. If you don't have one, you should get one for yourself. And if you haven't seen the Cold Tub Talks podcast, you can head over to YouTube, the InstaShred page, and check it out for yourself.
Welcome back to the Cold Tub Talks. We're here with Devin and John. John, we were talking right before we got into the tubs about Club 5 health facilities, the longevity and performance places that you've invested in. Tell us more about this, because I'm a biohacking geek. So
Yes.
I've got the red light therapy devices, the pneumatic compression sleeves. We obviously just got out of the cold tubs.
Yeah.
What are these facilities about and how do they help people?
So I actually invested in it very, very recently. So there's no facilities here yet. Their first facility is in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it's just a pure longevity facility.
Okay.
Right? Offers all the stuff that you have, including laser therapy, hyperbaric oxygen.
The hyperbaric oxygen. Those.
Yeah, and I
a lot
saw
of cool
like
things about that.
like NAD, like peptides.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything.
Right.
That's sick.
Yeah, so I actually went out there because I had like a bunionectomy surgery, which I didn't have a bunion, right? But I had
Okay.
that surgery.
Yeah. my
Because-
sister I didn't know it was bunionectomy. Is that what it's called?
That's what it was written on on the thing. But essentially,
Funny word.
my toe wasn't hinging as much as it should have. So I proactively did this.
Okay.
Right? And I went up to Green Bay and experienced Shockwave, a class 4 laser.
Okay.
and hyperbaric oxygen.
Yeah.
I was walking normal. I went in there limping. I left walking normal.
Oh.
Yeah. And the day before I had my stitches removed, which was 2.5 weeks, I was deadlifting 405.
Dude.
I posted a video on it. I'm like, yeah.
No, but that's impressive though. So is that what kind of like got you into the longevity?
So
and
I've
performance
always
world?
been a health person. It's not my career, but I've always been enthusiast of health.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to open a gym of some sort, have my own spot and stuff like that. So it was a chance meeting with my partner. He is already doing Club 5. So it's actually part of another gym in Pennsylvania called Fusion Gyms.
Okay.
There's like these giant, they make Lifetime and what's the other big one?
Equinox.
Equinox. Then the other one that's just opening in Palatine. And they make them look small. Their newest facility is 300,000 square feet.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah. 300 square.
Whoa. A gym?
But it's a gym, right? So it's basically, and it's a 3-floor gym. The whole 3rd floor is Club 5, essentially.
Whoa.
Right? So essentially it's like taking health and longevity to
Yeah.
the next level,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, I subscribe to this, right? Because I've seen some of the stuff that you're doing, right? And it's like, you're doing a lot of this stuff. So that's how we got connected.
Yeah.
Right. So the concept
exactly
is
right.
to inject Club 5 into a gym concept. Right. So instead of having a separate wellness facility,
Yep.
it's already there. I think statistically speaking, like 1 in 50 Americans go to the gym, something like that.
Yeah.
So
See that?
that's the number one client that's going to use it. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why not just bring the service to them? Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with several facilities here in Chicagoland.
See, I thought some of them were open already. So this
No,
is
not
like-
yet.
So you're in early.
Yeah.
I love that. You're an early adopter.
So one of them is going to be in St. Charles. Another one's in
Ooh.
St. Charles. You know where the Costco is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next door, where Harley was.
no.
Oh,
Dude, that's so
Yeah.
close from here.
Yeah,
It's like
right-
23
Right
minutes.
where Harley was.
Dude, yeah. That
Lincoln
building,
Square.
actually.
Yeah,
That's
Oh, nice. That's where you're
Yeah.
going into.
That's
Is right
sick.
there.
yeah. So I mean, I'm just like a super minority partner, like super minority, right? But I believe in the concept. So we're looking at maybe 6 months or so.
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
Because we're not trying to lease properties. We're trying to own the properties as well, so we can have full control.
Okay.
Right, kind of like a Starbucks, McDonald's type of.
Yeah.
It is a business after all. So we're talking about entrepreneurship and business scaling with health. This is
Yeah.
pretty much how you do it.
Yeah. You know what I love about the concept is it's longevity and performance. So we're not here to fix people or come to us after you've fucked up your body. It's like we're here to take what you have and just improve upon it.
Right.
I love the idea of routine maintenance. So many people miss the boat on that.
Right.
The chiropractic because they fucked it back up.
Yeah.
They go to PT because they got an issue.
Yeah.
And I'm all about staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
I think what you're describing is what we use all the time. It's being proactive rather than reactive. Don't wait for something to mess up.
Yeah.
Track everything. Right.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be tracked with proprietary technology as well. Right. And AI software.
Dude, like,
So it's basically
that
you're
gets
like,
me
this is
geeked.
what's going to happen
Real.
if you keep doing this in X amount of time. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
To prevent that, you can adjust this on your own, and then you can supplement with this.
yeah.
Right. So it's going to be built into like a membership, like kind of like a gym membership, right? You can have just the gym, but it's basically like concierge health and fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can build it into a membership, essentially.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I think you nailed it. Most people, I think, just neglect their bodies and then do something once it's fucked up. But
Right.
a lot of times it's like, what can we do to prevent that from happening? Or
Exactly.
just taking care of yourself a little bit better.
Yeah,
while
and there's even some modalities. When I went up to Green Bay, there's some modalities that I was not familiar with. I gotta be.
Sure,
I'm like,
yeah.
what is this? Like the hydrogen thing? Have you heard of that? It's like this machine, and there's like a circle of chairs on it, and it like spits out like hydrogen or something like that, and
Okay.
you're just supposed to absorb it,
Huh.
right? It's basically supposed to like oxidize your body or something like that. At first I was like, this got to be voodoo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I experienced it, and I'm like, I legitimately don't feel what I felt before I came in, So,
there you go.
I don't
Yeah.
see it as any different than taking supplements for fitness, of which I take a lot.
I like that correlation.
So
Yeah.
take supplements were not always a popular thing in fitness, right? Once
Yeah.
upon a time, right? So this is just like the next thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And the goal is to it's really longevity, right? So basically, we want people living to like 100 on a regular basis. So
Hell yeah, dude. We were just talking
Yeah.
earlier about how they say if we can make it to 2030 with like a sound body, we're going to be able to push the boundaries of living 130 years and older pretty
sure.
easily.
For sure, and it should be, based on science, it should be achievable. Should be
Yeah. Yeah. That's my goal, man.
scientifically speaking, it should be.
Yeah, if we can go another 5-6 years and just like be at a good place, we don't have freaking cancer by 2030.
Right.
It's like we're gonna.
So
have
basically,
an opportunity.
we're not the only ones, but we're systematically trying to eliminate those factors, that hinder and stunt growth and longevity,
Yeah.
right? So if you can be an anti-aging, then the result is you live longer.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
Hell yeah. Well, I can't wait for this
Yeah.
facility to open. I want to hear from the experts there and what they have
Yeah,
to say on all
yeah.
these practices you guys are putting in place.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, a good way to see a similar concept is the fusion gym concept in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So
Nice.
far, yeah.
I could see a new YouTube video coming off that.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to visit that.
Yeah.
What have you noticed, like being a successful entrepreneur, what does it cost you? Friends, family, fortune?
Okay, I kind of touched on family a little bit, so I won't gloss over that. But
Yeah, directly,
from
so.
from a friend standpoint, right? You not everybody's your friend, right? and
Yes.
and
Yes.
the more successful that you are, a lot of people will say that you're friends, or they want to use you for what you have achieved. So they're not really your friend.
You experienced that firsthand?
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
Right. Whether you
Yeah.
know it or not, it's up to you to decide how it affects you, right? But the
Perception.
reality is, those people that you truly rely on, there's really not that many, right? I kind of make a analogy to like social media. How many followers do we have, right? I don't know. My last one was like 100 something thousand. I don't know. I don't know that many people. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I could count on one hand how many people I talk to on a regular
Yeah.
on a regular basis, right?
Or would have your back if you need.
Exactly. So, and those that, everybody has haters, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves to hate on things that they don't know, right?
Mm.
They're your friend, and sometimes some of your biggest haters are the people that are closest to you, right? Because they think that should be me, right? Because I started out in the same spot as you. We did the same things. How come you're getting the success and I'm not?
Yeah.
Right?
You're taking all the vacations, having the cool cars.
Right.
Like,
Right. Exactly. But they don't see for me, for example, to make it personal, they see the cool cars and stuff like that. I'm like, you don't see me working every day, 7 days a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that's a reoccurring theme amongst all successful people. Another saying that my brother has reiterated to me several times over the years is, it's lonely at the top, right? You can't bring everybody with you,
yeah.
Yeah.
right? And if you do, you're gonna end up like MC Hammer. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're old enough to even know who he is. He's like one of those people that had the biggest entourage out there, right? And thinking that they were all his friends, but then when he lost all the money, they're nowhere to be found. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
those are pretty much your true friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a good point.
That's deep, true stuff.
for sure. I mean, I've experienced it.
Taking that in.
And I think everybody who is successful, you have to experience that to achieve a certain level of success, unless you live in a bubble,
Yeah.
right? Unless you've achieved your fortune overnight by winning the $1 billion lottery or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
But even then, what some would say, you'd even gain even more haters in a shorter amount of time. Those people, you hear those those people have to go in seclusion.
Yeah. Get all this like the mail and people asking for money. It's like
You got
those people go hiding because it's like nonsense.
distant
people
cousins you
wanting
didn't even
stuff.
know you had.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. I think we talked about this before. Is like sometimes the closest people to you are the ones like secretly wanting you to fail behind your back.
Yeah.
Like up front, it seems like, yeah, dude, you got this and you can do it. But like behind closed doors, they're like, man, I hope it doesn't work out for him. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't deserve this like I do. And
Yeah.
that's hard to deal with. And sometimes you don't know whether if someone's truly a supporter or a hater.
And people
it's
make
mentally.
people make videos about this all the time on all the social media platforms, right? Like
What's that?
they want to be me, right? Like what were the most recent female ones I saw? Like one of the daughters of one of my friends was like, "Hey, look at this video," right? And it's like, I think she posted a video about like fashion, right?
Okay.
She stole her friend's fashion, but that she posted it as if it was hers. Stuff like that.
Wow.
You know, like it can be as little as that,
Yeah.
or anything. But you are right. It's you know it's because you're so close to them, right? That they feel like they should get what you get, right? It's
Yeah.
like it's almost like an
That's-
entitlement, like they deserve it because they were doing it, you know. And the reality is, you know, sometimes it's just who you know, or it happens in all arenas, right? Same with sports is no different. I'm a big sports fan. Sports is no different.
Yeah.
Not all contracts are fair, right? It's all timing and who you know, who you met.
True.
So, what do they say? Your network is your net worth, right? That's a very common saying as well.
Yeah.
It's- can't be further from the truth. It's not just all hard work.
True.
Yeah.
You know, it pays to know the right people,
Yeah. Who you
but
surround
also
yourself
know,
with.
but also know if you are rubbing elbows with other people who are successful, and you expect their success to rub off on you and help you on your journey, right? You better have something to offer in return.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right? No one's going to bring you along for nothing.
No.
Yeah.
These
In
natural
general,
gifts might give you a chance, but you gotta
Exactly.
reciprocate.
Exactly. So you're doing yourself a favor by being the best you that you can be before worrying about other people.
Mm.
I don't understand why people worry about other people so much when I still got a lot of stuff to work on myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's
That's
always gonna be
great.
something to work on.
Great head on
Right?
your shoulders.
So
there.
even when I was in dental school, right, I was a little bit like a few years older, right, in my class. And you've heard of the term gunner, right? The people that say, "Oh, I'm not going to specialize. I'm just happy to be a dentist," right? Those are the people that say, you know what they call the person who graduates last in your class? It's basically you're still a doctor.
Yeah.
But then behind closed doors, they're trying to undermine you. They're not giving you the notes that you could get for whatever. And the reality is this: if I'm gonna fail, it's not gonna be because of you, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna be because of me, right? So I take that mentality with where I go with everything. So, funny story: pre-COVID, I used to wear long sleeves,
Like hiding your tattoos?
hiding my
Like,
tattoos,
okay.
right, just to be professional, right? And then after COVID, I was like, we're all gonna die anyways, so I'm just gonna live how I want to live. I haven't done it up until now, right? I've lived my whole almost entire adult life up until now, not doing things my way, right? And since then, I have this whole online persona, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody knows me as the tattoo dentist with the cars, right,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And and before I was a nobody, right?
Yeah.
So, and I worked just as hard, but nobody knew, right? So when you foster your success into other opportunities, it opens other doors that you didn't even know were there.
Yeah.
So
You can do that in a curative way.
yeah, and that's kind of what I meant
Yeah.
earlier. Like not everybody can do it all themselves. Need help either directly or indirectly.
Nice. Well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Hear his wisdom.
Yeah.
Tell you got a few years on it. You've had some experience.
It is. Yeah. I mean, some of my friends are like, you've lived, I've been around the block a couple times.
Yeah.
It almost feels like I've lived a couple lives already,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's the beauty of this segment, though. Like everyone we've had on is a part of the health and fitness industry in some way,
Yeah.
which we're so passionate about and why we
Yeah.
love doing what we do. But then it's like the successes of what's brought you to where you are too.
Yeah.
And then
those-
you also have a standard for your health. Like it's amazing to hear everything you've mentioned so far of what you do in your life,
Yeah.
but you still keep your health a standard. Like that speaks volume to
No, well,
us.
your health is your shrine, right? That's a reflection on you and your character, your work ethic, your everything. You can't say all these things and your appearance, your mannerisms, your character don't match what you're
True.
saying.
Damn,
It has to match, otherwise people won't believe you.
Yeah.
You would know, right? As,
Literally, yeah.
yeah,
People won't believe you.
yeah. So you everything has to match, right? And that's why
Yeah.
whatever standards you set for yourself, whatever plan you have for yourself, you have to stick with it. But also make it achievable.
Yeah.
Right. Don't say I'm going to do all these things. Like in the world of bodybuilding, I'm going to gain 40 pounds of muscle in a year. That's impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you stick with the plan, you will achieve these results in time.
Yeah, buddy.
No one's in a sprint, but the game of life is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
We got nothing but time. Hopefully, nothing but time in our lives.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know how much has life changed for you since becoming a father? Like, since becoming like a dad, have you wanted to work harder to accomplish more in life, or have you wanted to kind of like coast and take a couple more days off to spend like with
Okay.
your son and stuff?
So funny. I've never been having a lack of self-motivation. Always, if I want it, I'm gonna get it. Right? I don't know
Yeah.
how. Like to get there, I don't know how. I would always say these are my goals. I'm gonna get there one way or the other. That's how I've
Yeah.
always been.
I love that, like the lack of clarity, but like I'm a
And
fucking
if
get
this
it done.
if this road closes, I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah.
Right?
Detour.
Either which way, I'm gonna get there. Right. So I've always been like that. But when I first found out that I was gonna have my son, it was a complete eye opener.
Yeah.
Because now you're not living for yourself. I was like, I don't even know how to take care of myself yet. I still want to go live life and stuff like that.
Were you still married at that time?
I wasn't even married. I didn't get married until he was almost 5.
Oh.
Okay. So how old were you?
When
Then-
we had him, I had
yeah.
him like 29.
20. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
29, 30. Yeah. So, but I did know, like, just go back to your foundation, right? Your foundation of habits, right? So I was like, I don't know how to take care of a kid, I don't think, yet. And I don't think first-time parents are never ready. Right?
There's no
That's what they say,
manual.
right?
Yeah.
But what I do know how to do is make money,
Mm.
right? So I started working, and then, my whole life is like I stack my schedule like Tetris blocks, essentially.
Okay.
So I stick to those blocks. Like I was a resident when I first had him, right? And it was a paid residency. So I was like always, I don't need 3 hours to do one patient.
Mhm.
If I'm going to be the end all be all of endodontics when I get out of here, I better become confident and comfortable. So I started seeing 6 patients a day, right? And scheduling them myself. And I actually started working at moonlighting jobs, right? And I had my little setup. I had a 3-tiered wire, $15 container store spice rack that I've industrial Velcroed or zip tied all my cordless endodontic equipment to, and it was master power strip. And instead of eating lunch with the other residents, I chose moonlighting jobs that were close to UIC, which is where I went. Right? So they would call, text me the X-ray, they'd say, "Can you do this emergency root canal?" And I would say, "Who's the hygienist?" Okay, have Sarah, whoever the hygienist was of the day, right? Have them give anesthetic. I'll be there in 15 minutes.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Yeah. So
I can't even imagine that.
yeah, so there were 6 residents each class at the time. By the time I finished my first year of residency, I had completed more than 4 out of the 6 graduating residents.
Wow.
Yeah, and my first year because we were paid residency. My first year's W-2 was $250,000 as a full-time student. So I was like, I'm sure he could use the money. It's like, that's all I knew how to do, right? So
That's the hustle on you.
that's pretty much the hustle. Like everything else will work itself out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
family dynamic, how much you spend with your kid versus your significant other. That each family's gonna be different.
Oh,
right.
100%.
At the time, my girlfriend at the time, we had an agreement. Like she had a job, she was making good money, right? But we were both living in the city, and I was like, listen, if you allow me to do what I do, the fact of the matter is, just reality speaking, right? We could both work full time, but I grew up with 2 working parents, and I don't want that, right? And between the 2 of us, if this is it, this is our family, right? Then let's just do the smart thing. I can make more money than you can,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
And you're the mother, right?
Mhm.
So she stepped out of the working role and took care of our son, and I did all the work.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked for us. But having said that, you need to, just like fitness goals, you need to stop, reevaluate, and change course as necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balance and
Things will
everything
always,
else.
things will change.
Yeah.
But you are definitely at that point in time, you're definitely living for somebody else
Yeah.
first and foremost, or that, in my opinion, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Right. So
I'm inspired.
Yeah.
But what's
Not
like
cool stuff.
one lesson you're trying to live by and not preach? Like people are always sharing words and there's motivational shit all over the internet.
yeah.
So what would that, like, especially for your son,
Yeah.
what is the one way that you make sure you show up and live by every day and not just preach?
For me specifically, I think it's, don't use other people's success as your life ruler, right?
Mhm.
Do what you want, right? Also, money's not everything, because success is defined in different ways.
Oh, totally.
A lot of people will say, "Hey, Dr. Wong, you are wealthy," and I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
Right? Sure, I have a lot of cars, I have a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
The reality is, I prefer not to be divorced. I prefer to be with my kids, right? So if we're talking about wealth
Wow.
at that point, that's more to me than the things that I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would tell them, don't let anybody tell you what to do or how to do it, right? Not even me, right? If it's something that you really want to do, I will do my best to support you, right? So long as it's ethical, legal, stuff like that. You know what I mean? The reality is, I've observed that it doesn't matter what arena you're in. You can be successful. We're talking monetarily successful, financially successful, it doesn't matter. You think you'd be an art major and you can be a starving artist? That's not true. I know some very well-to-do people who are art majors, right? The reality is this: do what you want, because if you don't, you're going to be miserable for your life. That
Amen to that.
So that speaks to wealth and health, right? I'm also a huge mental health advocate. My youngest son is autistic, right? So you have to do what's right for your mind, no matter what.
Yeah. Is he? I know there's different levels. Is he like high functioning, like autistic, like?
He's high functioning. He can understand. We first found out because he didn't. My two older ones were already walking or talking by two, and he wasn't. He's just a little socially awkward. But,
Okay.
You see him at the park. He's the cutest kid, right? And he'll come up to you and he'll say hi to you like 5 times, right? It's super cute when you're 5, 6 year old, right? But when you're 25, 26, it's no longer so cute, right?
Yeah.
So he's been in a BCBA therapy full time, and he's come very long.
Nice. Yeah, I can relate a lot having an autistic brother myself. He's high functioning. He's got a full-time job and stuff that he's working, but same thing, very like short-spoken and doesn't like having a lot of conversations. Like, as you know, like you see him, like he's his own character.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
You wouldn't change it for the world.
For sure.
Who they are.
Because that's what makes him him. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm the same way. So it's very interesting. In some ways, when I had the opportunity to observe him and other people, like my autistic patients, right? They are the most non-jaded people out there. They're the most pure. They're not jaded by regular people like us, right?
Yeah.
Regular people, right?
Yeah, they don't really understand or care like what other people are
So
doing.
I actually posted something about it. I'm like, maybe it's them that are regular and we're not regular.
Whoa.
Right?
Yeah.
I like.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's I don't know, it's hard to explain, but when I watch my brother, I've learned so many cool things from him of just like, does not care about other people, what they're doing, what they're wearing, like no judgment. Just like he's living in his own world, where it's like not paying attention to a lot of the shit that doesn't matter. And I'm like, wow, you could learn a lot from people with special needs, like there's a lot of different things versus the normal way you grow up and you're told like, this is just what people do, or this is how you're supposed to think or live. And they don't take acceptance to that.
I had this recently. I had this adolescent patient, right? I think he was 13, 14, right? Just like that, like how we're talking, right? You would think that he was socially awkward. He was, his mental age was not reflective of his actual physiological age, right? And I had to, give him some TLC to allow me to give him some anesthetic and do my work, right? But left. My room's in this particular office are open. I could hear him talking, and he required his uncle to be there. Dad wasn't cutting the cake. Mom wasn't. It had to be the uncle, right?
Okay.
As soon as I leave, they're talking about like, if you do good, you can get this, right? Reward system.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, he did something like he started talking in computer code, like IT type stuff. Right? I was like, what is going on? I was like, because I was doing the note. I was like, what is going on there? So then it hit me. I'm like, I truly feel like, we don't access nearly as much of our brain as we could, I think. Right? So for people, high functioning autism, right? Geniuses, they call it.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're definitely unlocking some part of their brain that we aren't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I actually feel like there's something that can be learned from everybody.
Hey.
They need to study those kids.
Especially them. Like, what makes you a genius? How can you recite this? How can you do all these things at such a young age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else, the normal people can't, the majority of people are not normal. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So, in line with Club 5 and there's going to be these advances. We're going to be able to unlock other parts of our brain, and then we're just going to be evolving as a human species.
To do that in a healthy way and keep longevity in mind will be impressive.
I don't doubt it's going to happen, both in fitness and whatever. I'm just hoping that we are going to be. I'm going to be privileged enough to be alive to witness it.
Amen to that.
Yeah, for sure.
One of those pills from Limitless.
I was just gonna say you beat me to it. Have you seen the movie Limitless? Let's go.
No, I heard. With
what's his name? That's not Brad Pitt. What was I thinking? Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Cooper.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen
You
it.
take the pill and it unleashes like the
Yeah.
full potential
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
brain.
yeah.
Badass movie.
Can you imagine if that was like a real thing? Like,
I bet you it won't be. I bet you it's actually there's some. I mean, it's one simple things like when you give anesthetic and you shake somebody's lip, right?
Yeah.
It's a simple concept called the gate control therapy. You're distracting the brain, right?
Okay.
You're basically sending the pain signals and confusing the brain by adding another stimulus. So it's very similar, right? Our brains are just a neurological circuit. It's just a big circuit board.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just how to manipulate and unlock it,
true.
right?
Yeah.
That's what the smartest people in the world probably got it. Elon Musk, sent it my way.
Yeah,
You
right.
got- I know you got it.
He's definitely got something, like, you know, which reminds me, like, I used to be, you know, despite how people feel about him these days, right? He's one of my he is actually one of my idols. Like, he's crazy. His work ethic is nuts, and I thought mine was.
Yeah.
You know, and when I read his I don't know if you guys read his biography.
No.
You know, he once flew from New York to L.A. to give a female a 90-minute date, and then go fly back to New York for business. Like, crazy stuff, and work the whole way, right? So I could never be Elon, right? He's way too smart for me, right?
Yeah.
But you know who I could be is Phil Knight, or the Nike guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's one
that's
of the
more.
best books I've
That's
ever read.
that's probably the person that I identify with most, like pure hustler.
Nice. Have you read his book Shoe Dog?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That book,
yeah,
yeah, rocked my world.
yeah. So I'm like,
his
I,
backstory to developing Nike was insane.
Yeah.
Decades. Yeah.
I'm like but it's also, if you read it, it's like there's a lot of good fortune in there too, right?
Oh,
You know, stuff like that.
tons. Yeah.
Right? There's tons of smart people out there, right?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
who's at the right place at the right time, and
Yeah.
you can't give yourself that opportunity unless you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not given. You got to earn it. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
Like you were saying, the connections.
Right.
Like you got to know people.
That's what I kind of mean by
yeah.
a hustler, right? It's like, it's, you know how to work the game of life, right? I know tons of really smart people,
Yeah.
really smart, but they're not nearly the people with the deepest pockets that I know.
Yeah.
At least for me, you know.
Well, you sound like one of them yourself.
No.
Come on. if you're picking up what John's putting down, give us a like on this video.
I do okay, you know, but you know what I mean,
Well,
right?
you're a humble dude. You
Yeah.
got, yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw that from afar.
Yeah.
Quick heads up, Cold Tub Talks isn't just this podcast. We offer bespoke online coaching for busy men who want to improve their appearance, performance, and health. Just click the link in the description below and head to instashred.com to book your free call.
So with you, obviously you're in great shape too. Like, how much would you attribute being in good physical shape, working out? And I saw that from afar.
Yeah.
So with you, obviously you're in great shape too. Like, how much would you attribute being in good physical shape, working out, and being fit to your successes?
Everything.
Ooh, did you hear
Yeah.
that quick answer?
You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Write that down.
You can actually
Instant, no
Yeah.
hesitation.
No, you can. I've been like this as a kid, right? If I don't feel right, I'm not performing right. I'm almost as bad, not quite, but I'm almost as bad as like those fitness influencers who don't really have. They admittedly in interviews say they don't have friends because their diets, their routine takes precedence over anything. I'm not that bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? I still want to have, but
Always
it's
be
all
nice.
relative. What's the quality of your life?
Yeah.
That's what they want. If you really want it, what are you willing to give up to get?
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I
all
mean?
subjective, just like anything. You know,
Yeah.
you make great money. It's like, okay, to who? Like, it's all
Right.
subjective. You know, like you take
Subjective.
care of your body too much
Right.
and don't do this.
No,
like,
I've also made a similar amount of money and been not quite as healthy. You know, I'm just around 200 pounds, just under 200 pounds.
yeah.
I've been 200 pounds and looked way different before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But made the same money.
yeah.
There's a world of difference. I prefer this version than that.
You probably feel 10 times better too.
100%. You more energy. You know, there's some. I'm sure you can, explain the physiological, rationale why that happens, right?
Yeah, you want me to do it now?
I'm sure you could, like that.
Yeah.
Just from a layperson, right? Just a fitness enthusiast, it's like, it's basic. You look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you perform good, right?
Yeah.
And when I say look good, it's not like you don't want to look like everybody's definition of looking good is not the magazine look.
Yeah.
Right? That's not everybody's goal.
You're not trying to be stage ready, but
Exactly. Like I'm not, we were just talking earlier. I don't really track stats that much or macros,
Same.
right? I basically
I'm not a big stats
do
guy
I
at
like
all.
what I look what I see when I leave the shower? That's my main
Sure.
that's my main objective.
Like,
Do I look
yeah.
decent in clothes?
That really can be
You know?
common sense, like fitness common sense. Some
Yeah.
people get so bogged down in the analytics, and it's like, dude. the big
Because when you
picture-
do, especially if you're starting off, that's the fastest way to get off the wagon,
Yeah.
right? Because you
True.
get discouraged.
yeah, a lot of
Taking on way too much.
potential to get discouraged.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can monitor the way you look, the way you feel. Like, look at like your shirt. You're filling your shirt out. You're feeling good.
Yeah, he is.
Like,
Look at him.
Thanks.
you know, like how are your energy levels in the afternoon? Are you like having to crack open an energy drink to keep going? Or are you like, do you just have natural energy from taking
Yeah.
care of your body, putting good foods into it? Like,
Yeah.
those are the important things that you
Yeah.
should be
Yeah.
like tracking and knowing. Like, okay, I'm getting my fruits, I'm getting my veggies in, I'm getting my protein in, and not
Right.
just putting shit in your body that's going to bog you down to make you tired all afternoon.
Having respect for that vessel.
Yeah. You get one of them, you better take care of it, you know?
Yeah, that's why I follow you, right? Because like there's a
Appreciate it.
bunch of fitness people that I'll bookmark and I'll check in from time to time. Like, what can you tell me that I don't know today?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, because I don't have the time to do it myself, so I'm gonna steal some of my concepts from all my favorite influencers, right?
There
You know
you
what I
go,
mean?
man.
Sounds like you got enough going on over there. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
You know what I mean?
exactly what we like to do. Is we like to really focus on helping the affluent men that are out there. They're grinding, they're providing for the families, they're killing it in business, and sometimes they just don't put fitness at the top. And it's like, hey, let's help take care of the dirty work so that you can keep that at the top of the priority list.
Yeah,
Because you're out there focusing on so many other great things.
yeah. If for those people who are like that, for those people, I would tell those people like, what is it worth, right? If you could do all those things for everybody else, but you can't enjoy it yourself, what do you do it for? Is that the quality of life that you're looking for? Right? I would tell those people dead in the eye, you have to prioritize yourself first too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's goosebumps worthy.
You have to.
I
You
like
have
it.
to. I didn't for a long time, right? And I was not happy,
Yeah.
right? And the funny thing about that is my income earning potential and my income were not that different than now. So that's proof that money's not everything,
Yeah.
you know. So
Once again, wisdom, John. I'm not kidding. I'm being serious. Those are good golden nuggets.
Yeah. And think how much longer you're going to live too.
well, I'm
For
gonna be
those
around
people,
forever.
Like the cost.
I'm gonna be
you know,
around
of,
forever.
like-
My dad is the dean at Benedictine College,
Okay.
and my mom's a pharmacist at a hospital in Elk Grove. Right, they're 76 and 80 working full time still. Yeah, and my dad was like, I was talking to my dad recently, and he was a little peeved that they had to take time to consider his application for a promotion. I was like, what promotion do you want? Right? It's like, what exactly do you want? What more do you want? He's already the most published educator in the school's history.
Wow.
Right? And he didn't even start there. He was at Northwestern. He was bouncing around all over the place. But he's annoyed that they won't come to a decision before, because he thinks that. But then at the same time, he'll turn around and tell his kids, like me and my brother, right? I don't know how much more time, downplay everything.
Yeah.
That's what Asian parents do, at least, and maybe not just Asian parents, ethnic parents do that, right? They make it seem like they don't have anything, but my parents were very much like the saving money under the mattress types.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which makes the story even that much more cool. Like I definitely went against the grain. I'd call myself, as Andy Elliott would say it, a bloodline breaker.
Yeah,
Sure. You totally shift the dynamic of how you've been raised.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of courage, a lot of balls, a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
So for the people that do that, it's like, it's really admirable. And I think that's why a lot of people watch this podcast too, because it's like, we like to have people on like you that have just shaken up the status quo.
But I kind of feel like as I observe other people, yourself included, right? These are not just, I'm just going to take a leap of faith and that's it, right? These are all, from my observation anyways, very calculated risks.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
That's the way to put it.
You need to know that if I fail,
bad shit, crazy.
Exactly. If I fail, I've got some fail safes here where I can survive. I'm not going to be homeless. I'm not going to be doing this. Like, if I do this and it doesn't work, then this is what I'm going to do. I don't think when people say, when people hear their mentors say, just take that leap of faith, just do it. Just like, it's like, it's not really just doing it. There's a preparation that's involved in just doing it.
Yeah, like you could technically do it, but there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. I've seen people that have burned the boats and literally gone all in, but like they put their back against the wall to where they make it happen because it's like, hey, I had no backup plan. That can work.
Yeah.
But it's also a huge risk. It's kind of nice to have a little something to fall back on. That way, you don't get yourself in major trouble, especially if you do have a family, depending on your position in life. But that's what I love about the game of entrepreneurism. Is it's not made for everyone. It's tough.
And there's no cookie cutter formula for everybody. Has a different story, right? Which is why, like, when I listen to your podcast, I'm like, who's he got on next? Who's gonna have on next? You know what I mean?
love that,
So
man.
it's pretty cool because, like, Eddie, for example, you had recently, right? I've been following him since his
Yeah.
U of M days.
Great
right?
story. He's
Yeah.
still so young.
So, really young.
Yeah.
Now you drove the sick GT3 RS here today.
I did
Dude, we're
Yeah.
checking that thing out
for
before
sure.
we
Yeah,
leave.
you could drive it if you want.
Comparing that to your life and downshifting, what keeps you going after you've had so much success in life? Like, what's next for you to accomplish? Is there like a big goal you want to check off, or?
Right now it's Club 5. Right now it's Club 5.
Yeah.
And you at some point in time you gotta check yourself. You get those checkpoints in life, right? And you gotta go back and reassess what's priorities, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty well. I've survived, some setbacks and stuff like that. So now I want to, reconnect with my kids, right? Maybe have another kid. I don't know.
Okay.
That's been a
Wow.
aspiration. Yeah, an aspiration.
Damn,
of mine.
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
You don't hear that every day.
yeah. It's I mentor other people's kids, patients' kids, referring doctors' kids. I want to have a legacy, right? Like to make a sports analogy, I want, this person was this. Oh, he or she was mentored by John or Dr. Wong, right? I want people to remember me.
So cool.
That's
No, that's so cool. And just thinking that far ahead, I guess it's the benefit of being a male too. It's never too late to have a kid, Like,
That too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool though, to be so like set in your ways. You could easily just kind of like ride off into the sunset, but like that's a sign of progress. Like to want to have another kid and like throw that back into your life. That's neat.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have any, like, as far as goals, like Club 5 was just a chance meeting, right? So I think, you never know. Some of the best opportunities are things that just hit you in the face. You don't even know what's happening. You're just cruising through life, and then next thing you know, you're doing something else, right? So, the goal is not necessarily, unless it's a concrete goal, right? The goal is always be prepared, right? As a kid, I grew up privileged, I would say, right? My parents gave me everything that I needed, but nothing I ever wanted. And I wanted a lot, right?
Yeah.
So hustler from the beginning. Like I remember riding my bicycle to the local Walgreens, locking it up and taking the Pace Bus to Woodfield to work, to earn money so I could buy a car, so I could expand my work horizon, stuff like that. So, if there's ever anything in life that I want to do entrepreneurially, right, I just don't want money to be hindering me from doing that.
yeah.
That's part of the reason why I work that.
That's a golden nugget for me.
Yeah. I think that's a big takeaway too. And in today's world, everyone just wants everything. That, like, I grew up, probably similar. I had 5 brothers and 1 sister. My dad was the provider. My mom was a stay-at-home parent, and it was, you got everything you needed, but nothing you really wanted because we couldn't afford it. We didn't go on vacations. We didn't go anywhere. Like, our yearly trip was staying the night at a hotel at Six Flags.
Yeah.
And that was our summer vacation every year. But it makes you have to, like, realize you have to work that much harder in order to change, like, the destiny of your life, or else you could just get stuck in those patterns and be like, okay, this is all I'm meant for life. Like, it's okay. Like, I just want to work a normal job, which there's nothing wrong with that for anybody. But there's so much more that you could accomplish in life.
Yeah.
You just, like, put your foot down on the gas and just keep going.
Yeah, for sure. It's okay actually to do your 9 to 5. You don't, like, there's a lot of people that, do their day job because it's stable, right? But nowadays, because of the internet and social media and all these things, the access is
And the world runs on
and
those.
people, exactly, and people are doing these things on the side as their side hustle. So those people are also entrepreneurs. At
Everyone's
some point in
different,
time, they're weighing priorities. They're weighing risk benefit, cost benefit analysis of life decisions. Right. At some point in time, some of those people are lucky enough to, get out of their 9 to 5 and then do what they're doing full time.
Full-time content creator.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone is different. There's plenty of people that are out there living their 9 to 5, making 40 grand a year, and they truly are happy.
Yeah.
Loving family, low stress.
Yeah.
But I feel like, people, especially watching this podcast, they know they're meant for more, and they don't want to settle. They don't want to die knowing, like, man, I wish I did this and gave that a chance. And they know they're meant for a little more. And for that reason, I think social media is cool because it does allow you to dream.
Yeah.
And everything
absolutely.
does start with a dream.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we have to learn and be mindful of. Like, don't be afraid to do so.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant earlier when I said, what I tell, younger generation, my own kids, like, don't listen to anybody. Don't even look.
Yeah.
So, like, as we kind of wrap up here,
Sure.
I want to circle back to the first question I asked you. Like, you are very well-rounded. Like, looking at everything you've talked about today, it seems like you've pursued everything you love from fitness and the industry you're in with endodontistry. Did I say that right?
Endodontics, yeah.
Endodontics.
Yeah.
What piece of advice would you give someone to really first take action on the thing that they have a passion for? Let's say they do have a 9 to 5 and they're spending most of their week just working a job that's just meant to pay the bills.
So
how do they get started and enter into the thing that maybe they love, whether that's anything?
Right. So you have to immerse yourself into that world that you want to be a part of. You can't observe from the sidelines. You actually have to do it.
Okay.
Right. To make a car reference, for example, a lot of the great car photographers, right? They're just kids.
Yeah,
Literally
so
just
true,
kids,
dude.
right?
They're all so young.
But the thing is, they're doing a lot more than I would ever even imagine doing.
How so?
I live off a relatively busy-ish street, and in the summertime when I have the garage doors open, I got random kids just stopping in my driveway, and I've gotten some great photo shot of it, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that word of advice is you can't sit in the sidelines. You have to actually develop a plan. Don't be afraid to take risks of communication.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with Rex from Chi-Town Exotics.
No.
He's
Heard of Chi-Town.
So his online persona, he runs all these things like CACW, right? But it's Chi-Town Exotics, right? He worked for CACW, right? When I first met him, he was 16 years old. I did not know that. I was like, and now he's got Chi-Town Exotics at the Chicago Auto Show every year.
Yeah.
Last year was the 2nd year in a row,
Oh, wow.
right? So it's people like that you need to observe,
Yeah.
right? Don't be afraid. Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Go get it. Go pursue
get
that
it for
passion,
sure.
man. Even if it's an hour a week, right? It's a start.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta start somewhere. Every journey starts with a single step. You gotta take that step.
I'm gonna tell him for the third time's a charm. Wisdom. Humble man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of you saying the sports analogy. It reminds me of be a substitute at first and then become the starting player. Learn from the sidelines, watch someone that's killing it and knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then take over and become the starter in your
For
own
sure.
position.
Like Aaron Rodgers, for example.
Yeah.
Right. I was definitely an Aaron Rodgers type. Right. I don't do things well the first time around. Right. It takes me some time. Right. So I'm better off observing first. I'm a very visual person. So I want to visualize how you're doing it. Then I'm going to take all the stuff that you're doing well and eliminate the stuff you're not doing well. And then take that person's stuff, what he's doing well and she's doing well, and eliminate. And then that's how I came up with my own business.
Yeah.
Was
like
that
hiring a mentor.
Yeah.
Like one of the best things you could possibly do to bridge that learning curve even faster and take what you clearly know they made successful and incorporate it into your own business and make yours successful.
For sure.
Wow.
So
Yep.
I'm just so grateful of taking in this moment. I love just sitting in this kind of atmosphere, powwow on people that just they fucking get it.
Yeah. Because it's you get inspiration just from the atmosphere.
Yeah. And it's just the vibe, the energy. So I think to that point, get around the people that think the way you do, whatever that is.
Right.
Like
For example,
good culture.
I already know for sure my workout later is gonna be better than it was than if I had not come.
Because of the cold tub.
Yeah, of course. That too. That too, and the atmosphere and the discussion, meeting new friends, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I appreciate
right?
that,
Inspiring people. They come from all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right back at you. Well, dude, thanks for coming and sharing some of your story today. I know people are going to be able to get plenty of takeaways.
Thanks for having
find
me.
inspiration
For sure.
in you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what your biggest takeaway from this podcast was.
Yes. And thanks again for watching. The Cold Tub Talk series is up and running. We've got plenty of phenomenal interviews just like you saw here with John. And to check them out, you can click this link here to watch more.